Hey guys, and welcome to the Natty Blueprint podcast. This is episode 24. I didn't even have to remind myself this time. I remembered the episode number. So obviously getting more efficient now. I'm in prep.
There we
Just
go.
all the data's holding. Anyway, how you doing, Denny, mate? You are 16 days out, which is all credit to you, mate. Like still doing this pod. I remember at the start of this podcast, I was like, I reckon when he gets like sub 3 weeks out, he's gonna be wanting to maybe do a little
I'm not
hiatus on
gonna
the
lie,
podcast.
like on the drive back from the gym, I was like, do I come up with some really shit excuse not to do it? But yeah, I
You
was
are
like, I
being,
don't, it's one of those things, isn't it? So we're committed to it.
yeah, for sure.
Um, Obviously, once I'm done with shows, I'll probably role reverse and I'll be doing some of the stuff that you're doing, and etc., vice versa. So yeah, I'll let you carry it for the next 16 days, and then I'll carry it after that.
Well,
Well,
mate,
after my last show anyway.
yeah. So after
Um,
middle of June, you'll be good to go.
yeah. So yeah, we're 16 days out, which is pretty mad. I was looking back at last year this morning. 2 more days, and I would have done more than I did last year. But yeah, like it's. I wouldn't say it's like super, super, super difficult. I'm not like dying, obviously from a food standpoint and an output standpoint. But like last 3 days, I think I put on my story yesterday. I was like pretty fluffed out, and it's usually Thursday, Friday. Has been the kind of common theme. Like Friday, I just feel a bit sort of shit, but it's been like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. So, but it's to be expected. Obviously, we're now lighter than I was last year, or I was a few days ago anyway. So 157.6, something like that. So yeah, we'll blow away with the wind soon, which will be fun. But yeah, obviously 16 days to go. Excited. I wouldn't say nervous. I will be on a day, but yeah, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, today was one of those sessions. My hood was up for like 95% of it, so it was one of those. So yeah, and it's the one day which I don't have any issue with. I always say hello to people in the gym, but it was like one of those things like almost like, please don't talk to me. Don't really want to chat. I just want to crack on. And it was like, ah, you right, mate? But I've always got time for people, so I don't mind as long as it's not 20 minutes long. So
Yeah, I think that I said that the same a couple of podcasts ago. Like, even for myself, I'm like, right, when I'm in the gym, I just want to, of course, I'm going to train and talk to people, but I don't want to have these long kind of standing chats. I just want to focus on the session.
yeah,
And I found that's really helped with my performance and maintaining my numbers throughout. I've been dieting for like 10 weeks now, which is pretty crazy.
yeah, it's pretty mad. And obviously, like just from a focus standpoint as well, like if the session drags out too long, the end of the session just becomes completely washed out, and it's almost like I may as well not be here, sort of thing. So yeah, in and out, do what I need to do, and then leave, pretty much. So, but yeah, I appreciate everyone coming up to me and be like, "Keep going." I was like, "I will."
Pushing, keep pushing.
Yeah. What about yourself? How's the life of prep?
Yeah, sound mate. It's actually fairly straightforward still. My lightest weight was 180.8, so that was 18 pounds off, which is pretty
Sure,
crazy.
that's pretty good.
I mean, I'm in my 10th week now. On Monday it'll be 10 weeks.
Yeah.
This morning I weighed in at 181.8. So, funny enough, that's the body weight where we called the pre-prep diet
Okay.
back in October, I believe. So it is pretty cool that I'm now going to be seeing new numbers on the scale, which I haven't seen for 3 years. One thing I
Nice.
can confirm is I am leaner than my pre-prep, and
Okay.
I would actually go as far as saying as I'm very close to my stage weight condition in 2022.
No
Um,
way.
yeah. Now, obviously, that prep was a shambles anyway,
Yeah.
and I didn't come in condition or in the condition that I'd like. But just certain shots where I've seen like glute striations, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Um,
Obviously, more muscle will help that as well, so it's gonna
yeah,
show more.
yeah, they're not dug out. Don't get me wrong, my glutes aren't like fully striated and dug out, but I can see new levels of detail that I just didn't have, even in the pre-prep. So
Nice.
Yeah, I'm happy with how things are going. Definitely over the past few days, it's mainly on rest days I'm starting to feel a little bit like more hungry. And I think that's just because I have less to do. Like when I'm
Yeah.
on a training day, I'm always focused. But when I get home from work and it's a rest day and I've got like 2K steps to do, I go do that 2K steps and then by like 6:30, I'm sat down and
It's
I'm
like,
like,
oh, now what?
now what? What do I do? And then that kind of 45-minute to half an hour period, I end up just clock watching a little bit, which is
Yeah.
something I started to do, I nipped in the bud yesterday because I sat down about 20 past 6 and then I realised I was looking at the clock like every couple of minutes, waiting for it to get to 7 for my last meal. And I was like, right, okay, stop doing that. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like, just, do something else.
Yeah. The meal's gonna
So
be there no matter what. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, so I was just like, okay, nip that in the bud straight away because you know what you're doing. But that just comes with experience, right? Like, if you haven't prepped before, you'd probably continue to clock watch.
Yeah, I think it's normal anyway, especially when, excuse me, especially when you've got like set meal times. You are going to naturally be like, oh, it's almost meal time.
Yeah,
But obviously, when you've got nothing to do and you're like literally like, okay,
yeah.
I need my meal, I need my
I'm
meal, I
looking
need my
forward to
meal.
that meal.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
it
like,
just messes with your head a little bit. But
yeah,
yeah, I think that's one thing that's super important. It's definitely helped me this year is being really regimented with my meal timings, meal spacings, pre, post, final meal. I have mine at 6. I probably go to bed a bit earlier than you, or I'm in bed a little bit earlier than you. So yeah, I find 6 is that sweet spot for me. Like by the time I've had that last meal, most things are done. A few client replies, and it's look just chill as much as I can. And I find I don't really think about food after that last meal. To be honest,
yeah,
it's like right,
I'm the same.
I've done like my food's finished for the day.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna find something to do, which is usually just YouTube or football at this point.
Oh yeah, champions of Europe, you'll never sing that.
At least
Oh,
we was in it.
I actually watched that game. It was a partial hate watch and partial like I kind of want an English club to get there.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan, but there's a lot of people shitting on Arsenal, and I'm just like, it's the Champions League. Like, at least have a little bit of like, let's have an English team kind
Yeah,
of push it. But I get it. That's what the rivalry does, especially when other teams are very close to that rivalry, and when they've won it multiple
yeah.
times before.
I think Piers like when I was watching it, I was like, oh, like hopefully Arsenal can maybe do something here. But when the more I watched it, I was like, PSG are just another level.
Yeah, I was surprised though, because obviously the Real Madrid showing, there was just so much energy with Arsenal in that game. It was just like we were just dominant. Like
Yeah,
Real Madrid didn't really have a look in, if I'm honest. And obviously, if you look at their team on paper, it's probably better than PSG. But I was just like, how have we gone from Real Madrid to pretty much spanking them
yeah.
to PSG? Obviously, they are a ridiculous team, but I think if we maybe got a draw out the first game, might have fared a little bit better in a second. But I knew it wasn't going to happen, to be honest.
I tell you what was even. Did you watch the Inter Milan Barcelona game?
Oh,
What a game!
ridiculous game! It was like
What a
one of the
game!
best games I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
It was nuts. It was just
both
goals.
legs were good. Yeah,
Yeah, literally that second leg, I was like, right, Barca have done it. And then was it a Cherby, like
yeah.
96th minute or something like
Mad.
that? 38-year-old Italian. Just yeah, that was mad. That was a great game.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, sorry for the football chat, ladies and gents. But it has to be done. We're both football supporters, and we need
Yeah,
an outlet for bodybuilding. Even though I found a new outlet, mate, and it's Lego.
Lego. Don't go
Lego.
to therapy. Get Lego.
Just get Lego. Look at this. I put it in my office. Look at this. I
Hey,
finally got it.
nice. I've been looking at Lego to be fair, but it's just so
Um,
expensive. I'm like, do I want to pay that much money for a bit of plastic?
do you know how much that cost?
Probably like 80 quid.
Well, it's 60 on sale, and that's why I got it. But
Yeah.
yeah, ridiculous.
Like you see people buying like a Defender or something, and it's like 300 quid. It's like
Yeah.
what?
Admittedly though, because Kate was at a rave that day, and I watched Chelsea, and it was a rest day, and then I was like, well, I've got an evening free, so I just slapped on a podcast and built some Lego for a couple hours,
Yeah,
and
it
it
is. It
zoned
is
me out.
therapeutic. Yeah, it is just like you just focus on that. You don't really think about, because it is one of those things that you have to be quite switched on for, because some of them are quite difficult. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Maybe I'll go get some Lego tomorrow.
Do it, bro. Do it. Get a Thanos hand and then we can match.
Um, More of a Star Wars man, me.
You're more. Have you seen the F1 cars they have? That's pretty cool.
Uh, I can't stand F1.
Wow, that's a
It's
big statement.
like it's just like golf. It's not a real sport.
It's a big statement as well. A lot of people will hate you for saying that about golf.
I say it with chest.
Jesus. Anyway, I thought we would quickly touch on the Pittsburgh. Um, I don't think, Denny, you've been following it too much, but it'll be
No.
good to kind of go over a few of the athletes there. Because, even though we are natties, we do love bodybuilding still. Blah, 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 blah. Um, let's see if I can share this. Always takes a little bit of time. Anything happening? Hey, there we go.
There we go.
Cool. So the big heavy hitters, and I think we should have a look at them. First of all, you got Nick Walker, and mate, this
I
guy
did
is
see
ridiculous.
is it that Brazilian guy? The Vito? He like
Yeah.
tore his lat.
Right. What the hell is this?
Jesus
It's
Christ.
just mental.
I think Jack Eagles is now coached by the same guy.
Yeah, Carl Wilkes.
Yeah, that's it.
But mate, just
That's absurd.
ridiculous. I really like as well, and a lot of things people won't notice is I really like his hand placement
Yes.
because I'm not hating on Nick. He has got a slightly wide midsection, right? But the way he's
You cannot
pulling
tell
this,
from that. Yeah.
he's completely changed the aspects of his back. Now, if he wasn't holding his hands like this, his lower back wouldn't look this small.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Like
ridiculous. I'm
his
gonna have to show you a
adductors.
back double, bro, because it's mental. See if he's got any here. This was probably a few weeks ago, 2 weeks. It's just wild.
Jesus.
It is ridiculous. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Nick. I always have been. He had a lot of shit last year with everything
It,
that's gone on. So I hope
yeah.
he really does have a good showing. And then you got Martin, which I haven't actually seen a lot of posts
Mine
from him
fits. Yeah.
recently.
I've been watching quite a bit of his stuff actually.
He's good, isn't he? Like watching his YouTube, it's actually quite entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's actually posted any shots recently. No.
Obviously from like an out and out size standpoint, it's gonna be very
Yeah,
different.
I think
Um,
I think in terms of balance, Martin has the best balance.
yeah.
Like it's just ridiculous, like the way his shots fit together. Um, but I think Nick, just in terms of
Just because he's
out and
like
out,
wild. Yeah. It's
yeah,
a
like
bit
this
more
was
like,
him. Apparently, he's 10 pounds heavier than this. Ridiculous. So it's just a really, really nicely put together physique.
yeah.
So I think Nick will just have him in the lower body. Um,
Yeah, like
so
his
I'm
hamstrings are just a joke.
yeah, yeah. And then you got Derek, who
Still
obviously
undefeated.
won the Arnold. So I don't know if he's posted a lot of physique updates recently. Maybe we'll be able to flick through a couple of these. But again, a ridiculously good bodybuilder. Obviously former Mr. Olympia as well. It's going to be a tough show. It's going to be a big show. I'm
Yeah, I
hoping to
mean,
watch it because there is a live
considering it's
stream.
not like a an Arnold or an Olympia, there's some big boys in there, so it's a pretty wild lineup to be fair.
Yeah, 100k prize money as well. That's probably why.
Yeah, explains it.
Yeah. So if I'm going to do a prediction, I've got to back my boy Nick. Even though I think him and Derek is going to be close. I think my heart's saying Nick, but my head's saying Derek. So I'm going to go Nick, Derek, Martin. That's going to be my prediction.
I'm going Nick, Martin, Derek.
Jesus, you're putting the Arnold winner in third.
Yeah.
Jesus, that is wild. Just to let you know when we did the FIBO predictions, I got that spot on.
There you go. Well, it's written in the stars. He's doing it again.
Come on, Nick.
I'm
But yeah,
I'm
that
sure
will
there's
be
some betting odds on that.
yeah. Get on Ladbrokes. Some betting odds.
Some bodybuilding bets.
Cool. Imagine if I actually did that. That'd be wild.
So yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, should we crack on with some questions?
Let's. I actually got some this time, so I can participate in the podcast. So, question number 1 from Josh _R03. Do you have any ambitions or goals to work towards after your competition?
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to take it?
I mean, goals wise, for me, if we're talking strictly bodybuilding, it would be to fully commit to an extended off season and just see where I get. Like, although probably the most important one for me is handling the post show. I want to nail it. Like, it might sound like a bit of a weird goal, but like, I want that to be like, yeah, I did that sort of thing. Just because I don't want to be in a position where I'm like, oh, fucking hell, I'll go completely wasted that kind of 2 to 3 months post show, getting in a good position, still being in routine, obviously having a little bit more kind of flexibility, but I really want to nail that kind of post show. And then sort of just general, I guess, just be a better bodybuilder in general, and just, yeah, kind of slingshot myself into nailing everything, because as much as we obviously took the off season pretty seriously, and I think I had a pretty good result out of it, I want to see what the potential is by doing like a year long, with maybe a few pullbacks in between, maybe for like holidays or whatever. But yeah, I want to push it and see where I'm at.
I think for you that just because if you bring this kind of work ethic to your off season and you start doing some crazy shit in the gym, it'll pay off.
Yeah.
And your physique will respond from that. Like we saw that from a very short off season from last year to this year. Those shots you sent me the other day, I was like, what the fuck?
Mental. Obviously, there's some posing differences there and maybe a bit of lighting, but I looked at it, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. So there was a massive improvement there. I think for goals as well, it's hard to set competitive goals when you haven't competed yet.
Yeah, like it will be dictated by how the season goes, essentially.
Yeah.
If I absolutely flop it, then my goals won't be as high. If I do really well, my goals are obviously going to be a lot higher, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, yeah. Like for example, let's say you don't place, your goal for the next season will be to place, right?
Exactly.
Let's say if you come top 3, your goal will be to win a show, and let's say you win your class, your goal will maybe be win an overall. Like it's just going up the ladder, right?
Exactly.
In terms of myself, I don't know. I just love an off season because I love that progressive training. So I'll just continue to do that, and obviously, like I've pretty much been very religious for a long time with my off seasons. Obviously, last off season I had a little bit more flexibility, but still, majority of the time, like 99% of the time, I was on things. Still even weighing salt in off seasons and stuff. Like,
sure.
I'm very religious when it comes to just my routine and everything. So it probably won't change. Obviously, again, my competitive goals will just be keep getting better every season. And when I will compete after this season, who knows? It depends on how this season goes. But
exactly,
I haven't got any goals for this season in terms of like placings and stuff. So it's literally just producing a physique on stage that I'm happy with. That'll be my goal, and having some fun. That's one thing I've really pushed for in this prep is actually enjoying the process rather than wishing it away. So yeah, that's pretty much my goal. And then when I come out of prep, obviously I'll be able to set those next goals after I've kind of gone through the reversing and health kind of phase as well.
I think it's important to have that as well, because obviously if you come out of it with no real direction, it's just going to make everything 10 times harder than it needs to be, because you're like, now what? Which is obviously what happened to me last year. I was like, do I even like bodybuilding? So yeah, just make sure you've got something set in place, which kind of links to the next question from Rushin. which is plans for post-show.
Binge.
Get fat. No, like start enjoying a bit more social. I've already sort of linked up a few things with a few people that I want to be doing. Holiday, some time away, some time off, and just yeah, while still being that bodybuilder, have that flexibility with life again. Because obviously it's part of prep, like it's not there, and that's what you accept when you go into it. But for me, it's just like yeah, have that flexibility, enjoy myself with either end of it. So obviously, if I do well, then so be it. If I don't, then don't. But post show, it's just about finding that normal again. So yeah, no
Yeah,
real kind of set in place plans. I do want to go away, so I do want to stay in shape somewhat.
yeah. Just don't book it like 2 weeks after your shows.
Yeah,
Like give it a little bit of time to reverse, build food up, get you in a good spot. Make sure your food focus isn't as high. Make sure your
yeah,
hormones are balanced out a little bit because yeah, booking a holiday like literally when you finish prep is like
yeah. An
disaster waiting to happen.
all-inclusive holiday is going to be
Yeah,
at the buffet all day.
yeah, literally. So I just give it a bit of time. Um, in terms of myself, I'd probably just, like I said, go back to my normal off season. I'd like to go to some raves and stuff. That's one thing I've seen people starting going to raves now, and like there's some really good lineups this year, and I'm like, fuck, like
Yeah,
just having to miss out on them. And I'm not someone who can prep and go to a rave. Because one, they're not going to let me bring food in, and I just don't think it'll be as enjoyable, and I'll feel absolutely smashed the next day
yeah.
or even after it.
It's
So
just going to throw your routine out as well, especially if you're,
yeah,
like you said, being very regimented in general. You can't take your food, so your meal timings are off. Your steps are going to be through the roof. Your water consumption is going to be all over the place, and you're probably going to feel wrecked the day after. So, what's the point?
it's not worth it.
Yeah,
The next time I'll to after shows, but like the thing is, I've kind of come to the realization that anything that I miss is still going to be there after prep. So it makes you like not miss it as much because you're like, okay,
yeah,
like, it's going to happen. Like at some point, like I'm going to go to another rave or I'm going to have a pizza or a burger. Like I'm not going
yeah,
to die if I don't have it for the next
yeah. That is prep in a nutshell, though,
weeks.
isn't it? It's just that delayed gratification. Like everything is still going to be there, whether that be food, time, energy. Like it's all going to come back.
Yeah,
So yeah, just suck it up.
suck it up for a little bit.
Just
Yeah,
suck it up. And then we've got my last question from Mr. Mansell underscore fitness. Advice for overthinking any events you participate in. Do you set yourself high expectations? So I think it's important to set realistic expectations. For example, I know he's doing some like Spartan races, Tough Mudders, that sort of thing. If you think you're going to go into it running the quickest time and you've never run the quickest time ever, like, and come first, it's not going to happen. Same with myself. I've never competed. Do I think I'm going to be the best there? No, I don't. I know I'm not going to be the best bodybuilder ever because I'm just not. I'm not a genetic freak. I'm not 100 kilos shredded. I'm going in there with realistic expectations. I'm going there to be competitive, but I'm not going there with like, I'm going to win. I'm going to smash it. I'm going to beat everyone because that's just, you're setting yourself up for a little bit of failure there. So yeah, have high standards because you're going there to be your best, but don't go in there delusional and be like, I'm going to wipe the floor with everyone because I'm just the shit because it's probably not the case. And in terms of like overthinking, I think if you have those realistic expectations, it should dull them down a little bit because you're thinking logically and not illogically. And if there's anyone around you that's like blowing smoke up your ass every 5 minutes, probably don't listen to them as much. Because it comes from a good place, and I think we spoke about this in previous podcasts. But you're going to have a lot of people. I do. I'm sure you do as well, Max. Be like, oh, you're going to do so well. It comes from a good place, but if it's someone that's maybe not as in to what you're doing, don't listen to them, but take it with a pinch of salt. Yeah,
one that I've got this week is, aren't you a bit lean for 18 weeks out? It's like, no,
yeah,
no, I'm not. Like, but obviously people don't look at that. Like they think that oh he's in X amount of weeks condition and he's
yeah. They're
got
comparing to other people's preps as well.
yeah. So I also think like have the confidence. One thing that stops me overthinking as well is knowing that I've done everything that I need to do. Like if you've not left no stone unturned, there's nothing to overthink about, right? And if you want to take that stress away, then get someone to do the thinking for you. That's another bit of advice. Like I think we all know the benefits of having a coach there. This is not me plugging because I know nothing about Tough Mudders or Spartan races, so
Yeah,
I'm not the coach for you. But I just think get someone who understands that process, and if you're worried that you don't understand that, then and that's a goal of yours, your goal means something to you. So from a financial standpoint, if that's something
yeah,
you're willing to do, go for it.
yeah,
So yeah, like I think that's another thing that I really, really, when I start kind of not spiraling, but like overthinking little things, I'm like, right, okay, have you done what you need to do today? And I'm like, yes, okay, so stop overthinking. You've done everything that's asked of you.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's like obviously in like a prep situation as well. Like obviously we're checking in daily, and you're like, we do this today, we do that today, and there's times where I'm like, but why? But if I start like questioning it, obviously if it's something that I don't understand, I would ask and get the reason for it. But because it's very easy, especially in a prep situation, to be like, right, I just need to do more, need to do more. Let's do more cardio, let's do more steps. And then it's probably not the best thing because you're not in a, again, we spoke about this before, you're not in that mindset to probably be making all of those decisions for yourself. So when you call something and you're like, 10K steps today, I'm like, cool, sound, let's just do that.
yeah,
Run with it.
switch off from the process and follow the coach.
Yeah.
That's literally all you can do, and put your trust obviously in that coach. And that's what like Denny checks in, and we set the plan of action. There's probably
Just
multiple
that.
times. Yeah, he salutes the action, and that's it. And I'm like, all right, sound like that. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And if you ask me why we're doing it, obviously I'll tell you why. But I
Yeah.
think for you and just keeping things
Yeah. It's not
easy,
that I don't understand. It's like there's no need for me to question it
yeah,
because
yeah,
one, that's
additional
what I'm
stress.
it's
So just
literally what I'm
additional
paying you
stress.
for, and two, it's I don't need to stress about it.
Yeah.
It's just right. That's what I'm doing today. Crack on, and we adjust if need be the following day.
Yeah. To be honest, I actually think that's worked out really well for you this past, like, how long have you done it? Just over a week, just being a little bit more like intuitive with,
Yeah,
obviously, you've been checking in dailies from
yeah,
about 3 weeks out. You're checking in 3 times a week,
yeah.
probably
It
from like
definitely
8
helps
weeks out.
from just like a calmness. Like I don't have to not worry about the following day because I don't know what the following day is going to be. So
Yeah.
if I don't know, I can't think about it. So that kind of helps in a way.
Yeah.
So maybe you can utilize that for other clients if need be. But it's definitely been a thing where I've like I literally don't know what I'm doing tomorrow yet. So just finish today and we'll see what tomorrow brings. And it helps me personally. It's like right, tomorrow that's all I need to get to. Tomorrow that's all I need to get to. Instead of thinking, right, shit, I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks left or whatever it is. I'm literally just like, right, tomorrow morning when I wake up, check in, see what he says. Done.
So,
Yeah. Obviously you
there's-
can't do that all prep with every client because it would be chaos.
but there is something that I've done with a lot of clients in it. I think like for example, Tom went on holiday with his last prep, and he was like 12 weeks out, right? And I literally said to him, right, he went for a 7 day holiday, check in every single day, and he was 12 weeks out. A lot of coaches wouldn't do that. They'd be like, no, you've got a set diet, you're
Yeah.
doing that. And I was like, no, you're on holiday. I want to make sure you're enjoying your holiday, but also we've got to be accountable to the you are in a
Yeah.
prep.
Yeah.
And he's got a couple of holidays coming up this prep. I think
Oh no
even
way.
one of them, he comes back and he's 3 weeks out, right?
What is he doing?
So they're like golf holidays, right? So I've said to him
Yeah,
through
Max,
those
I've got
holidays,
a holiday next week. I hope that's all right.
yeah, I'd be like,
I'm on
no,
peak week.
peak week. But yeah, it's a method that I've used where it's like, okay, check in every day when you need to. I mean, it doesn't take up too much of my time. Obviously, I'm analysing your shots, then I look at your data, and then we go from there. But I'm happy that there's that frequent communication. You have an understanding of what's going on, and also it puts
Yeah,
a bit of peace in your mind that we're talking and I know exactly what's going on a daily basis.
yeah,
So it is a good thing to do. And I know a lot of coaches, they kind of have this boilerplate like check-in thing. Like you start prep, and then from maybe 6 weeks out, it's like 2 check-ins a week, and then maybe
yeah,
from 3 weeks out, it's three, and then maybe from peak week, it's daily. Like I will literally ask for what I need to coach the athlete and bring them the best they possibly
Yeah,
can. So
yeah, because everyone's different at the end of the
yeah,
day. Yeah,
like for example, Owen, he's pretty much since we started prep, he's been on 2 check-ins per week, right?
exactly.
And we started prep at 20 weeks out.
Yeah,
Now the reason for that is Owen's never competed before, so he probably doesn't need the frequent communication, but
yeah,
it
but it
puts
also
some.
allows you to learn about him in that process as well.
Yeah,
It's not just him keeping him in check, it's your ability to understand the client a little bit more. Because let's say he's nailing it, maybe you could bring the check-in frequency down, and he's
yeah,
like, right, I'm happy with what he's doing. We don't need to be as on it, or it could go the other way, and you obviously push it up a little bit.
yeah, exactly. And like another example is Dylan, right? I've been coaching Dylan for 3.5 years. He's be 18 weeks out on Sunday. He's still checking in just once per week because I know
Yeah,
how Dylan's physique. I've ran multiple fat loss phases with him, and I've already prepped him once. Like I know
yeah,
exactly how his physique's going to respond. And I literally said to him when we started prep, "This is going to happen this week, and what happens, it happens, right?" And we haven't made it. We made our first change last weekend, and his body's still responding.
yeah,
And don't get me wrong, I'm a little bit of like I will keep on top of my guys' sheets, right? When I get a spare 10 minutes, I'm looking at your body weights. I'm
yeah,
looking at your sessions. I'm staying on top of it. Even if it's not your check-in day, I'm still staying on
yeah.
top of it.
Because you want to see that midweek.
Yeah.
It's what I do with my clients as well. Like I don't just wait for the check-in because if your client's quiet and you've not heard from them and you don't know anything, you're literally potentially a week behind of what you could jump in and help with. So yeah,
It's
if
this
there's any
instinct, isn't it? It's this
any
weird.
advice for coaches out there, do not just wait a week
No.
because
Be
they will.
instinctive.
Yeah,
I have it like, I've had it with some clients where I talk to them quite frequently and then they don't message me for a couple of days. And then I will literally message them saying, "You're good, mate. How you doing?" Because I
yeah,
know, and then all of a sudden something's happened, and I
yeah.
just know, like it's just instinct. But you obviously get that with time and experience with coaching as
Of
well.
course, yeah, yeah.
Cool. That was a massive tangent.
It was, it was.
I've got a question from the Dandelion,
Of
Joss
course.
Jandy. He's asked Denny versus 100 Pepsi Max strawberries and creams. Who wins?
In this current state, the Pepsi wins.
Do you think you could drink 100 Pepsi Max strawberries, let's say in one day?
In a day, no. Probably like
What is that?
20,
50 litres, isn't it?
20 tops.
It's 50, yeah,
That's
it's
a
50
lot.
litres. I think you'd die.
Yeah, I'd vomit after probably like 10.
just, just like 6 litres of Coke.
Oh, God.
Oh, Pepsi Max.
Yeah, no,
That'd be
Pepsi's
janky.
winning, especially that one.
James likes it hard. Limford has asked if you could live on one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oats.
Cream of rice. I like how you outed me yesterday on your
Do you know
story.
what? I had two people message me saying, "You're basically describing Max." I was like, "Yeah, I'm waiting for him to bite, and he hasn't yet."
I was like, right, I've got him. I was waiting for my last meal, and I was like, right, I've got him.
I knew you'd bite as well, and that's why I did it. So
See what he's
yeah,
doing. This
but
is
do you
what I
know
have to do.
what? Like, I've never tried nose strips before. In fact, one of my clients just messaged me saying, "What are the nose strips saying? I can breathe so much better."
How long have I been saying this? How long, bro?
Literally, this morning when I went for my walk, I just left it on. I was like, I took it off as soon as I got in. I was like, I can't breathe.
Yeah, it's. Do you? I'll tell you the best nose strips to buy, and they're called Longevity, and you can get them off Amazon. They're
That's what
like
I don't know
seven
what
pound a pack. Unreal. And it's a
I don't
pack
know
of
which ones I
30 or
got, but
40.
they were from Amazon.
And they're
Uh,
clear as well, so you don't look like a freak with a
yeah.
black
Oh,
nose
I don't care about the freak look. Like people see me in an absolute state in the morning,
strip.
so I'm just like, right, let's go outside.
Yeah,
But
isn't
yeah,
it weird?
like
Like, you don't think with a nose strip that they're going to make much of a difference. You're like, oh, it's a fad. And then you put it on, you go, oh my God, that's what a
yeah,
working nose feels like.
yep, literally, yeah. So no strips. I don't know what I'll be trying next. It's gonna
Blue
be
light blockers.
some like moon boots or something.
Yeah, moon boots. I'm surprised you didn't come at me for the moon boots as well.
Yeah, it's not even worth my time, that one.
Or the blue
Everyone
light
knows.
blockers.
Yeah, blue light blockers would be next, but by that time, sleep should hopefully sort itself out
Yeah,
because I've
hopefully.
accepted my fate at this point.
Just no sleep.
It's not so much like I get to sleep fine for the most part. It's just I'm waking up like every 3 hours to
Yeah.
urinate. It's just annoying.
Yeah, it's just your body composition, bro.
Yeah,
Like, unfortunately, your body does not want to sleep, right?
yeah. And
It's
it's
just,
just like I wake up and like my bladder's full. I'm Good
yeah.
thing is the loo is just literally next door, so I'm just like walk in, come back out, and straight back into bed, and then I'm soundo like straight away, and then I might. So it's at the minute it's 1:30, 3:30, and then I wake up around 5:30, 6 o'clock. So, which is always fun.
I think like, with my sleep at the moment, I from about 9 p.m. at night, I'm gone. Like I'm like I need to go to bed.
Yeah,
But then the latest I wake up is 6 a.m. at the moment. But every time I wake up, I'm like, right, let's crack on with my day. And I've just got like more efficient. Like sometimes I'd be in bed and I just like I don't know, cuddle the cats for 10 minutes in bed. But now I know like
yeah.
I'm
Like
awake.
as soon
Right.
as you're awake, right, bang, up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one
It's
thing that I like about prep, like
yeah.
the ability to just get up. One, it's just like I may as well start my day now. Like I'm not really gonna get back to sleep. And then obviously your body is just like, right, you're awake now, let's go, sort of
And
thing.
I feel great as well when I wake
Yeah,
up.
there's no
Like
like
in
that
the
kind
morning,
of
I feel good.
like in the winter, obviously, like when you're probably a lot heavier, like when you're in bed and it's cold, it's dark,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I want to stay in bed for an extra hour. And it's hard to get up, like especially for me, like I do struggle to get up
Yeah.
in the winter. But yeah, obviously the time of the year probably coincides with it a little bit. But yeah, it's literally like awake, boom, out,
Yeah.
which
It's
is
crazy, isn't it?
a blessing and a curse because obviously you are up early. There's not really much you can do. Shops aren't open. You can't just go to the supermarket at 5 o'clock in the morning, get your food shop. Like it's just kind of right, walk, prep some meals, do a bit
Yeah.
of work.
Well, I kind of like appreciate that. I'll wake up, and then I'll like go downstairs, make a coffee, and I'll just sit there for 10 minutes and I'll just
Yeah,
chill. And
it's
I
nice with
actually really
that.
like that
It's
time.
that peace, quiet time because
Yeah.
there's no cars on the road. No one's really up and about moving. It's just like a nice chill out time, and that's why I
Yeah.
go for a walk every single morning, and I probably will always do that because there's no one on the road
Yeah, isn't
at
it
all.
great? You just hear no one, like you see
It's
no
great.
one. Like I'm out walking at 6 a.m. and there's barely anyone around. And
Yeah,
I'm like, this is so nice because usually when I do go for that walk, I'm walking past loads of people. And not like I'm not interacting with them, but it's still nice to just be like, I'm in my own little world right now,
yeah, yeah.
which is kind of crazy. But yeah, got another question from Josh. He says, what kind of posing do you guys have to practice for your competitions?
What
Mental
does it mean?
physique and bodybuilding.
Yeah,
um, yeah,
just
suppose.
yeah, just rounds of whatever your category is. I guess that's the answer to the question.
Yeah,
I do it obviously in the morning. I usually do 2 rounds, and then post workout. So it's pretty much well, it is at this point every day. So yeah, that's one piece of advice I would give to anyone who is prepping. Get your posing done sooner rather than later because one less thing to worry about.
and also your posing fitness as
Yeah.
well is another massive thing.
Yeah, like I
Um,
did 4 rounds today. I was leaking afterwards, and
yeah,
it's not even that warm today. I mean, it's warm, but it's not like super super hot. Got to the fourth round, I was like, God.
yeah. But that's again, like that's a prime example. On stage, if they make you do 4 rounds, you don't want to be sweating and
Yeah,
ruining the look,
or
right? So
like
that
blowing your lungs out.
yeah, so that posing fitness has got to be there. The amount of
Yeah,
times that I've been at shows and they've done more than 2 rounds, and half of the guys on the stage have just
blowing.
completely fallen apart.
Yeah,
And that will cost you a placing because if they're making you do multiple rounds, it means someone's close.
yeah,
There's a close comparison there between someone in your call out, right? So
yeah.
you've got to keep working.
Especially if it's like, let's say someone is just blessed and they've got an absolute insane rig, and yeah, they can pose, but let's say they get you doing 3 rounds, 4 rounds, whatever it is, because someone else is just kind of maybe edging third or second. And that person in first who's got that unreal physique just falls to the floor and they're like, just, they're done. It's going to cost them. So, yeah, don't have your physique as like, oh, I'm the best. And the same with your, probably your posing as well. Like, you might be really good at posing, but you might not have the best physique. It's that complete package at the end of the day. So,
Yeah, and I think especially like well, I think any shots to be honest, in men's physique or classic or bodybuilding, like if your posing's good, it's only going to complement your physique and your look.
Yeah.
And it's part of your presentation. So you want to stay on top of it as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And
Like,
learn outside in your off season. Don't learn in
yeah.
prep.
Like at the end of the day, like bodybuilding is a game of illusions in a way. Like you are trying to make best out of your structure essentially, and if you can pose it well and show off different parts of your body in a better way versus someone who has maybe got more muscle than you but they don't know how to pose it, you're probably going to edge them.
And you always play with it throughout your whole prep. Tweak your posing. I know for me, like I'm constantly moving my posing, changing like the shots that I'm not too happy with, changing my hip positioning,
Yeah,
hand positioning, arm positioning. Like literally every time I go in, I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of new detail there. How can I emphasize that even more? And maybe like how can I hide my weaker shots and my weaker
yeah,
body parts, right? So it's going to be a game of playing with your posing all the way throughout the prep, but make sure you have got the foundations there set
yeah.
prior to the prep. Because I think you learned, didn't you, last year, but you picked up quite quickly.
Well, the initial few weeks I was like, "Oh, this is so alien to me," but once you get that your own eye for it, you will just notice things in your own posing, and then that just helps because you're then aware of what you're potentially doing wrong. Albeit you could probably pick up some bad habits, which I'm sure everyone has and will. But yeah, like I would say get a posing coach, especially if it's brand new to you. Like it's one of the best things. Like if I hadn't done that, I'd be a shambles with my posing more than likely because especially men's physique, I think it's quite foreign, really, isn't it? It's not like bodybuilding as much as it is bodybuilding. It's quite flamboyant, I suppose. Most people can pull a side chest, a back double, front double, but obviously with some men's physique shots, it's a little bit kind of different. So making sure you've got that nailed.
Definitely. Anyway, hit me up for questions. I haven't got any more, mate. I have got a little cheeky plug though, and that's I will be starting YouTube again.
But hey,
I've made
I
a
saw,
decision.
yeah, you had the was it the DJI?
Yeah, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So I have now started, but I haven't filmed a video yet. A proper video. I filmed like a I'm back type video, which was just
Yeah,
like a short, like 4 or 5 minute video. And then tomorrow I'm going to start with like a full day of eating. So
nice.
yeah,
It's funny you say that. I've made a on my to-do list for post prep to start documenting and do a YouTube, which is quite funny. So,
that's weird. That's why I had a call with David yesterday because I was
oh,
like,
okay.
I want to just kind of discuss the whole YouTube thing, and I just thought, well, I'm 18 weeks out. I've got clients competing this year. I want to document all that, and if no one watches it, sound, but at least it'd be fucking cool to look back on.
It's just cool to document. It gives you something to do as well at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Like it's quite a not many people do it, and I think the people that do it that also don't have much of a following, I'm like, fair play. Like you crack on with that because I've found myself, especially in this prep, watching a lot of people with not a lot of subscribers, just because it's I find it interesting. So there's gonna be other people out there that are gonna sort of pick up to you and kind of what you like. Obviously you don't need to show the ins and outs of your entire life, but I think it's a good edge when it comes to people getting to know you.
yeah, for sure. I'm just like, I haven't done it in 5.5 years, right? So obviously, I'm very easy with the podcast now because we've done so many. So it's just like another case with the YouTube where it's gonna be like, okay, what do I record and
Just
like
everything.
best angles and stuff. But it's gonna be like just vloggy kind
Just
of basic
raw,
stuff.
yeah, just
Yeah,
like day in the life stuff, yeah.
yeah,
Which is the stuff that I actually prefer watching.
yeah.
Like, I see a lot of people, they post a lot of gym content and it's just in the gym. And I always just scrub past it on YouTube videos. Like, I actually want to listen to what you're saying, what you're doing, what you're eating, how you do it, what you're thinking, as
Yeah.
opposed to 4 sets of tricep extensions today. It's like, cool, I've seen that 5 million
Yeah.
times.
Do you know what I said exactly the same to David? Because basically with David, but it's going to be a bit of a collaboration on my workload. He's going to be editing some videos. Then if I have time, I'll edit my own
Yeah,
videos. And obviously for like show days and stuff like that, he'll be just fully in charge of getting the
yeah.
footage and editing it all for a YouTube video. Um, but I've just completely lost my trail of thought. Ah,
I
no,
was
18
waiting for
weeks
it to
out.
expand.
Yeah, 18 weeks out. No, that's what it. That's what we're talking about. Training footage.
Yes.
So he said to me, "What do you want, like in terms of your training footage?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, it'll be a segment of the video, but it won't be the whole video.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
it is, there'll be like a voiceover or something to go alongside
Yeah.
it."
For something to merit actually
Yeah,
talking about it.
yeah, because no one watches it. Like no one really watches a lot of. I post a lot of my training on my Instagram because I just like posting my training.
Yeah.
But I know that
But you
those
don't need
posts,
to explain everything you're doing
yeah,
every single time because how many sessions do you have in a week?
like
5,
four,
4 or 5.
yeah,
You do that once, it's going to be the same the next week
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's not changing.
yeah. How many times have I posted me on the hack squat doing the same weight
Exactly. Like,
over
yeah,
and over and over again?
this week we've added 1.25 kilos and I lost a rep.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like that's one thing I started getting in a bad habit of just doing very easy captions as well, where I just put like legs and then put the date and then
Yeah.
just
I think
talk about
that's, I
session. That's
think
it.
for an Instagram, I think that's important because it shows that repetitiveness of it because that's what bodybuilding is.
Yeah,
But I think for YouTube, especially long form content, for myself, stuff that I watch, and I can't obviously speak for everyone, I literally just like, nope, I'm not watching that. Like, no matter who it is, even if it's like Chris Bumstead, like I will skip past the training because I don't care.
yeah. I mean, as well, like we've got to factor in that we are coaches and we see a lot of training footage
Yeah,
every
and we're
single
also
week.
probably doing the same thing that they're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So I think when someone's not a coach and not seeing so much training footage every single
yeah,
day,
it's novel, it's interesting.
yeah, it's probably a little bit more interesting. But when we're getting messages from clients with like the whole session of training footage, and then we were watching back our own training footage,
And we've been in the gym for 2 hours that day.
yeah, and then obviously you have a little bit of Instagram and there's training footage, you're kind of like, okay, right, like I'm not gonna if I do record a video which will be training, it'll be like David will be there with me and I'll mic up for the whole session and
Yeah,
we'll have like chats in between and try and break up a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited to get it started. To be honest, I think it's going to be a new journey for me in YouTube.
yeah, man,
So I might drop my link in the description below.
do it.
Do a
I'll
little bit of a plug.
subscribe.
Make sure everyone subscribes. Anyway, guys, we're approaching the time where Denny starts to die, so we're going to have to wrap it up here. But thank you for listening to episode 24 of the Natty Blueprint podcast. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we'll probably catch up, one next week? And then obviously it's show day, isn't it? So there might be a little bit of a hiatus after episode
Yeah,
25. But we'll make sure we catch up after Denny's
hopefully
show.
in the next episode there'll be some nice medals somewhere in the background.
And he'll be really tanned.
Yeah. See ya.
Right. Catch you all in the next one. Cheers.